Alrighty, welcome back to the stream, and welcome back once again to my little adventure into game dev. So, last time we basically made the basics of BlockBall together, and by together I mean I did it and people watched, maybe. The basic mechanics are down. Actually, let me just... Here we go. Let's open this thing up. I think I gotta recapture the game itself. No, that's gamepad. There we go. There we go. So we got BlockBall here. I can move up and down. I can block the ball. And I can send the ball back. So there's a couple things that are obviously clearly still missing. First, there's no score. There's no way to win. Second, I'm controlling both of these simultaneously. That's something that also needs to be rectified. Third, and a little less important, is you can probably see here that as I bounce, depending on which side of the paddle I hit, the ball bounces in a different direction, which is why I have that little cross on it. So if it's on the bottom half, it goes up. If it's on the top half, it goes down. Or if it's on the bottom half, it goes down. If it's on the top half, it goes up. And it's right in the center, it basically goes straight out, regardless of what the initial incoming direction was. So like right here, it's gonna go, yeah, perfectly straight pretty much. So that is something I want to adjust at some point in the future, but that is that's a lot of work to do, basically. Like, getting Collision to work with this is a long process, which I sort of figured out something that might work, but it's gonna be tricky. Anyway, that's a thing for another time. So, let's set up some multiplayer, shall we? Also, as like last time, in the background, the music you're hearing is coming from, what is it, StreamBeats? Yes, it's coming from StreamBeats. This is the lo-fi playlist. Alright, so I actually wrote my to-do list here for me. So first, also, I changed the sound effects and uploaded it onto itch.io because I'm not gonna put Hey Listen up on itch.io because I'm pretty sure that's a good way to get the game pulled down. Alright, scoring. So, I need to do a last hit ID value and ball spawn direction. Last hit ID to determine initial X velocity, move away from last score. So this stuff here, the wall collision stuff, that'll be at a later time. That'll be a later period. I don't want to deal with that now. I figured out something that may work, but actually implementing it is going to be tricky. The big one we're going to do today is scoring, ball spawn direction, and hopefully multiplayer control. So, first things first. Let's go to the paddle objects. So for both of these things, I'm setting in a player number variable, which has also been this is paddle speed. Yeah, set paddle speed, that's what I wanted, right? So that's on the create. Step is just move paddle speed in whatever direction. And on collision with the wall, stop the ball. Or stop the paddle, effectively. Just reverse its direction. Same point direction towards others Y, and then 180 degrees away from it. Actually, I think it was in the ball. That was collision, right? Yeah. All right. So on creation, we set all of these initial variables. So set init y random. So there's a random range that the ball will travel at when it's going out in terms of the y-axis, and the x will either go in -1 or 1. And this is, while x init rand is there, it'll loop around until it gets either -1 or 1. So no zeros. Horizontal speed is 10 times the initial random direction. Actually, I should probably set... No, that's fine. Initial speed being that high is fine. We'll figure that out later. I can figure out initial speeds and whatnot later on. But this part right here is what I want to do. So what I probably want to do is have a global variable. Okay, you know what? Actually, hold on a second. Let me open up Paint. Let's go up a new image here. Let's do window capture. Let's Paint. There we go. So now from now on I have a MS Paint window capture option. Just turn it on whenever I need it. Alright, so here's the idea, right? My thought is the following. Ball comes in, hits a paddle, right? The paddle imparts the player number. So let's say player 1 goes into the ball as a stored variable. Then, the ball goes into the score end zone. There, the score end zone reads player 1 and then increments player 1's score up by 1. Very simple, right? Of course, there's a little bit of fine-tuning to do there. For example, what if somebody bops the ball as it's going past them? Because it'll effectively be stuck going into the end zone, and they'll count as getting the score. But that's something to figure out later on. So I need a player 1 variable, or rather, I need a couple global variables. I need the score variables. I need the score variables to keep track of what score is what. I need a L-scorer variable, which will just take the ID of whoever was the last person to score, and it can use that actually to factor into the score value. And also, I can use the L-scorer value to get the direction for the previous hit. So if L score is not equal to 0, let's say... Yeah, I've been working on this. I've got semi-functional Pong. Like, check it. There we go. Look at this. I got Pong going. It's semi-functional. It's not very functional, but it is semi-functional. Anyway. So that's what I'm currently working on fixing up at the moment. So what was I saying? Right. So I need the global score variables. I need the last score variable. And that's pretty much it, I think. So let's go in here. I had the score object, right? Yeah, that's the actual one. So I don't think I want that one. I think I want to use the UI object. So how about this? On creation, in addition to all this stuff, let's create some variables. Set global variable. We're going to call this L scorer. Value is going to be 0. And set global variable. How do I create multiple score variables? Alright, I just sent a message off to the GameMaker person I know. So anyway, let's do this and just go, P1 score. Just for the moment, right? Or rather, score P1. That makes more sense. And then, set global variable, score P2. There we go. So on the draw GUI, we have ID, we have P1, P2. P1, and this is going to be score P1, and score P2. So just with that, when I load this up, it should have a 0 for both. Yeah, look at that. Hey! Alright, so now that that's dealt with... Yep. Okay, so it looks like I do have to use unique variables for both. Alright, so that's the score values set in. What's next? Next, I need to have the scorer object. Or rather, no. First is gonna be... object paddle, object ball. Okay, so I actually want to go into the room, I think. So let's go here. Variables. Player number 1. Variables. Player number 2. Alright. So players number 1 and 2 have now been retrieved. And just for good measure... Let's see, BlockBall, P1, P2 ID, so... Last hit, P... It's gonna be last hit, colon, P, and then I want to get object ball last hit. So if I go to object ball, last hit is going to be on collision with the paddle. Assign last hit value other dot. I think it was what, player underscore num. There we go. So doing that, now when the ball hits a paddle, I should get P0, P2, P1, P2, P1. Good. Okay, now we're also going to make, just to make things easier to keep track of, we're also going to last score, and we're just going to have this one be slightly below it. So let's make that one 20. That can be good. I just want to make sure it's legible. No, make it like 50. I wish text was a little bit easier to place in this game. It's kind of a pain. There we go. So, last hit is P1, P2. Last score is the same. That is fine for the time being. Alright. Now we go to our scorer object. On collision with the ball, you get the global variable. You pull this global variable and let's... Nope. Oh, you can actually pull multiple. That's good. Okay, so enable this one. So get global variable... No. You get the variable from the other. So... Get the value of an instance variable on collision with the ball. How do I do that again? Okay, so if I was in the ball, an object paddle is a sign variable, right? So assign variable here, and this is based on other dot player num. Oh no. Other dot last hit, actually. Okay, so let's just set this to scored. Down. Doesn't really matter. And then we're going to set global variable based on this. Okay, so yeah, set global variable, and we're gonna set global dot last score is value equal to scored, let's say. So global.lScore is now what I need to see here. So now this should tell me last hit P2, last score P2, last hit P1, Last hit P1. Alright, so last hit is now stored in here. Get some rally going. P1. Good. P0. That's fine, actually. That's actually perfectly fine. Okay, so now I need to somehow... Okay, so looking at my paint drawing here again. Okay, so this is currently set. This part's done. This part's done. Then this part is P1. This part's done. So I need to get the score updated, which would probably be on that collision with the ball again. How do I do that? Score P1. Okay, so how do I get a specific score? Okay, you know what? Let's put it in here, because I can destroy the instance, and then the ball's gone, and then I can do all the scored nonsense afterwards. Okay, so the last score has been determined right here. Okay, so I think the best way to do it probably would be gamepad stuff, movement, collisions, draw self, draw value, loop. It would probably be a loop. Generic loop that continues until a break action is hit. So I guess the easiest way... This is weird. P code a number of times while loop, while expression is true. Self-contained loop structure with initialized condition that increments statements. So condition blank is less than 10, increment I is I plus 1. So how would I do this? So I want... Would I create a player value and then have everything tied to that? Which is like a third variable that's just hidden in the background? I guess so? Yeah, so I guess what I could do is I could have, like... expand this out a bit. I could have, like, the player one... or rather, just the one variable. Or player equals 1. Or player equals 2. Or whatever, right? I could have that as, like, the ID number per person. And then I can increment... I just had a really dumb idea. Can I do this? Because this is effectively just like a small thing, right? Would I be able to just insert that into a string and then use that string to generate the code needed? Like, here's my thing, right? This is something I was doing when I, like, made a bunch of models in Microsoft Excel. Because I didn't want to have to type out everything all the time. So I basically had the Excel sheet automate itself. So what I could do is... what I could do is I could have, like... you have, like, the text here. Let's say, player... it's basically the same thing it does right now. It does player, and this is the text, and then you have plus player space, and then plus a 1, and then you implement that as a string itself, right? And that comes out saying player 1. It just comes out like that. So, could I implement that as a string, and then input that string as code into another object? Probably not with drag and drop. I imagine that's probably a code-based thing. But the reason I ask is because I'm currently using the score... or the score p... whatever value, right? To get my things. So if I did score underscore and then input p1, just put 1 in there as that thing, and then I could use that string as my... as the other dot whatever. Let me see if I can do that. Close that. Let me see if I can actually do that. Okay, how do I create a string? It'd probably be... I'd probably need to initialize a variable, right? Yeah, so let's assign a variable. Okay, so let's create a new variable here too. Assign variable, why not? Let's call this, what do I do with this? I don't think I can do this with drag and drop, but let me see if I can get this. So, assign the variable. The main reason I'm doing this drag and drop is so that I can actually learn how to, like, do this shit. So let's go like, I don't know, what would it be? It would be something like, what's the actual value again? Score, it's global score P1. Yeah, okay. Plus, scored. So let's try, test that. And that's score test. And let's try using this variable here, and I can just draw that as well. I'll make a new one that's at 200. And that's, score test. Now let's see what happens. Broke. Okay. I probably shouldn't do that anyway, let's be real. Okay, is this simple and clean? I'm pretty sure this is like a riff on Simple and Clean, because it has like some of those bits in it. Okay, anyway, yeah, currently, what am I doing? I just lost sort of my train of thought here a bit. Oh, God, I forgot to get rid of that. There we go. So last score, we'll wait until... So P2 is the last hit, which now means last score is P2. Alright, so let's do this the cheap and easy way, I guess. Oh, wait, I can do that. Hold on, can I do this? Let's see. Okay, so apparently what I wanted to do is called an array, where I would take a variable. Okay, here, let me open up Paint again. Where I would do this, basically, I would take the variable I had, so that'd be global dot, or rather, I would take a string like this, global dot score p. Then add the other, actually it'd be global, wouldn't it? Global dot last hit, or last score, or L score, which gives me the value for that thing. So player 1 hit, it'd be global dot score P1, right? So that's how it would come out. Then I would take this string, because this is counted as a string currently, and then use it in the code that I need. So it would take that thing and put it into global.score p1 equals global.score p1 plus 1. Just like that, effectively. So that's effectively what I would try and do with this. Which, unfortunately, is not something I can really do in drag and drop. So, let's just do that currently, right? So, assign variable, scored, last hit, scored goes to L score. The other last hit goes into the scored variable, scored goes into L score. This doesn't actually need to be here, all things considered. I'm mostly using scored here because then I can pull scored into other factors in addition to that. Well, actually, you know what? Let's do that. And this actually should be set global variable. It should be the other way. There we go. Single variable where instead of 3. Or, yeah. There we go. Alrighty. So, now that I have that, let's do some loops and logic. For loop. So destroy the instance. Let's put this here. Initialize at I equals 0 as long as I is less than 10. Increment that up. That's not what I want, actually. I want, is not equal to global.lScorer. I'm trying to think here. What do I do? How would I do this exactly? I would do if. So what I'm trying to do here is paint. So I'm trying to do an if loop, right? So if lScorer is not equal to let's say the player number, then, or rather, if score is equal to player number, then player number plus 1, right? And if not, then you go on to the next player number. I feel like I'm trying to do this much harder than it needs to be. So it's probably, let's just do this. And I'll do if. Okay, so if variable okay, so okay, so this is the reason why I wanted to do like a loop and a array kind of thing. Because I wanted to be able to go like, okay, so I want to do a while loop or a constant loop where it just constantly increments the player number up. So if, let's say, actually it's global.lScorer is equal to 1, then I want to assign variable. Set global variable, and then this would be global dot score p1 is equal to just 1. There, just like that. And if that fails, then you go to an if. Well, lScore is equal to 2. Then set global score p2 to +1. There we go. And that's basically what I would want it to do. Oops, I didn't actually want to do that. All right, let's try that out. Ready? So, p2 has the last hit. Score is P2. P1 has the last hit. Still going to P1 for some reason, but it is incrementing on a score, so that's a good thing. So why is that collision thing not working? Oh. Okay, is it this? Okay, it was that. I messed up. Okay, so it'd be this way, and then this goes there. So if global score is equal to 1, I'm used to it not being... It's like it's an awkward position. I would have expected the other way. There we go. That should do it now. So last hit is P2. Last hit is P1. And now we have a score. Now we get to score if it's P0. Look at this. Look at this. All right. Excellent. Now, one other thing as well. Okay, so when hitting the paddle, makes that audio noise. The wall makes that audio noise, and then when I hit an event, let's do a collision object scorer. Let's see, I want these two copied over. I want to make that blip, and I want to set this pitch equal to like 2. Let's go. Let's try that. I just need to have something for this. There we go. So now I've got a score noise in addition. And it's just the same little blip. Like I literally just have a little... I literally just made like a little teeny like bloop noise and just stuck it in here. Right here. You can just hear it. This is it. Just, That's literally all it is. It's a little teeny blip noise that I made. Okay. So that is BlockBall multiplayer scoring done. Yes, exactly. So the last hit ID value has been determined. Now, so there's that. Next up is going to be things based on the ball's creation. So I want to go here. So if a variable global.scorer is not equal to 0, then I want to get the direction opposite of that paddle. Right? Now the easy way to do this would be the easiest way to do this is if it's 1, or rather if variable global L score is not equal to 0, which means that somebody actually scored on the goal. Somebody actually got a score in. We're going to go... this is the easy way to do this. I don't want to do the easy way because I want to set like a groundwork for other things which have all the variables and things already matched in. But I suppose the drag and drop is not too much of a difficulty there. So, it would be... Especially since I can't actually get the array working, which would do this. So this would be if is equal to 1. So let's do this. That is equal to 1. Then I suppose it would be yeah, it would be setting an X in it rand. Then I would be assign variable xnet rand is equal to, let's say, -1. I don't remember which one's which. Doesn't tell me here. Does it? No. So if variable is that, and then there we go. Total score equals 2 is going to be 1. I may need to reverse these. All right. I see. So it's the draw order. The game loads in before the UI does. The UI is actually where the L score value is located. Right? That's where I put it? I think it's in the UI object. Yeah, it is. Alright. Honestly, I don't even need it to be there. So let's just make a new object here. Object 6. Let's call this var object var inits. And basically, this thing only has one purpose. This thing exists basically just to create global variables. So I don't need to create them in other objects. So let's get rid of this here. There we go. Alright, so put that into the room. Let's put that into a new level. No. Let's put that in here. New instance layer. Let's call this rename layers. Varos. Alright, we're just gonna put var_inits right in there. That's all it's there for. It literally is just there to initialize global variables that I'll need. Okay. Weird. So why isn't it... There we go. Alright, last is P1. Last is also P1. Okay, so these need to be reversed. Alright, so let's go to the ball. Uncreated, this should be -1, and this should be 1. There we go. So now, if somebody scores, the ball will go to their opponent. So player 2 has scored. Player 1 has scored. Which means player 2 gets the ball. Player 2 has scored. Which means player 1 gets the ball. Player 1 will now score again. Means player 2 gets the ball. And then if nobody gets the ball, it's oh wait, no, because that's a score. Nobody scored last, it's random. Perfect. Okay. Alright, so that's just one of the small things on my to-do list that I had to take care of. Now... let's do this. So... I want to go to object score, I think. Okay, so, now what we're going to do here is we're going to do a... this is probably the best one. If variable. So, if... I want to get the highest of 2. Let's see, is there a way to get, let's see, GameMaker to find greater value? I think I'd probably need to just do if. Just do more ifs here, which I'm really not a fan of. Wait, no, what am I doing? This is... no, this is right. This is right. This is collision with the ball. So if, equal to, let's call it, Global.max score. Let's make this one. Two, and let's just really quickly make one over there in the variables called max score. And actually no, this is, I don't need to do that. Let's make that equal to 10. So if that is that, then I guess let's do. See, I probably want last hit. Let's take this one. Go. Okay, and I can get the, what was that, last hit value? There we go. Alright, so let's test this out. First to 10 wins. So let's get P2 a bunch of scores. Oh man, P2 is just destroying right now. Look at this. This is not even a game. Not even a game. Oh no, did the wrong one actually. This is fine. What I should probably actually do is if last hit was 0, then the last scorer gets no points. Or gets negative points on their... that's unfortunate. Okay, let me just reset that. Okay, it didn't work. Okay, let's just check. Let's make this 1. Just for debugging purposes here. So P2 will have a score of 1. Okay, now P1 will have a score of 1. Why isn't it drawing? Might be because of this. Might be because of this. Alright, let's grab those items. On creation, let's just set these values. So now it should work. No, it's not. Oh, it's draw GUI event. How do I... Okay, you know what? Maybe I should do this. Let's create a new variable. Let's go here. Let's go, set global variable. Let's make a winner. It's just gonna be set to 0. Okay, so go here. Global winner. There we go. So instead of doing this, set global variable global.winner, set it to 1. That one to 2. And then set set global variable score E1 0 2 to 0. There you go. So now we go here. Last round winner P0. All right, and then we go here and we go to max. Well, max score. Let's do this -5. So I need to score 5 points. So P2's got to score 5 points. Two. 3. Oh, but player 1's coming in for the score. Look at this. Oh, baby. It's got a score. P2 taking the lead. And clutching it out. And scores are reverted to 0. And we have last round winner is P2. So now we actually have a winner. We have a game. You can lose. Sometimes that's all you need in life, the ability to lose. I wish there was a slightly easier way to do this, but whatever. Actually, does assigned value to a variable allow you to do that? Alright, anyway, that's part 1. I want to see something here real quick. Just take a second. Because I've been wondering, what does GameMaker actually use when it's doing things? Like, is it running off the CPU? I figure so, right? So let me just, I got my thing here. There's a brief spike in CPU power just then, which almost certainly was this. Yep, another big spike. But it's kind of all over the place, which is very strange. Now, what about memory? Oops. I closed the thing by accident. So memory is holding pretty stable there. Memory has not moved an iota. GPU. Okay, let's try doing this. And barely ticking up. It looks like it might be using a little bit of my VRAM to do it. Running that again. Oh no, it's actually using my VRAM to run the game. That's what's going on here. So it's definitely CPU based. That's basically just why I wanted to check. I've been wondering, like, what does it actually use when running the thing? Current build target, Windows. Ah, look at this. Neat. I can actually load it out for Ubuntu. Ha! I haven't been messing around with this. Alrighty. Right. So, now that it's possible to lose, you need to have someone you can lose against. That's important. So, we need to get the controls in here for the paddles. So at every step, the paddle works based on whatever. So create, assign a variable, paddle speed, and we have the player number variable in addition to that. So what's the best way to set this up? Let's do WS and up and down. This would be a good way to hack it together, but I don't actually know how to do that. Actually, you know what would be even better? Let's see how these controller things work. It's under gamepad. That was it. Sync gamepad. Trigger, game count. Get whether a given gamepad is connected. Set threshold. Analog buttons. Gamepad is done released. pressed. Gamepad button is pressed. Okay, let me... Okay, so how would I do this? My thought would be, like, the easy way would be... Actually, no, I don't know what the easy way would be, because it's two different instances here in the room, right? I'm gonna take a look at this. On the game. Edit object. Like, I guess the easy way to do this would be in the step object. I could set these ones to be specific keys that would do it. So I would go like, this one is up and down, and then the one over here on this side is W and S. But how do I actually do that in, like, a good way? Because that's very clunky and requires me to manually go in every time and change what buttons are what. I suppose what I could do is, like... What I could do is, like, there's two ways I could think of doing this if I wanted to do, like, a more adjustable, malleable one. And I don't know if they would work, but, if key down, like, I don't know if this would work if I can just... What I would do, I guess, if I really wanted to, like, be funky about it, is I'd make a new controller object. Let's create a new object here. Let's call this controls. And let's create 4 variables. These are basically just going to be Boolean variables. So... let's assign these variables. I'm going to go P1 control P1 up. Down. P2 up. P2 down. Let's call them like that, right? Our initial value is going to be 0. Then create a step value. Let's see, while loop. Let's see here. So if I go to if key down, if key released. So what am I using currently for the paddles? I'm currently using if it's down. So if key down. Let's say this is going to be letter W. So if W is down, then control P1 up is... I'm doing that as a what again? Set instance variable. That's self, though, right? Yeah, it's self. So this would apply to object paddle, but not... I don't know how I'd be able to do that. Yeah, I think this is not gonna... Let's just delete this. The controller object might work, but not in the way I currently know how to do this stuff. Oops, wrong button. I want to go here. So this is actually doing exactly what I was doing. Yeah. That is exactly what I was doing, in fact. Okay, so let's go object. All right, so let's create those variables again. There we go. So that's control. So let's do on a step. Is there a way to do, like, while the key is down? Okay, so ideally the control event here. So I got the 4 variables for player 1, player 2 up, and player 2 down. I got the ups and the downs, right? Now, the trick here is I'm 90% sure that... Let's see, if key is pressed... see, so the speed down is... Okay, so up is negative paddle speed. Now, how do I set it to the specific instance? Oh. Oh. Let's go with inst. Inst paddle P1. I can actually rename these. There you go. So now each of these instances have been renamed, and I can grab them, right? You know, just for good measure, let me name this paddle P1 001. And paddle P2 001. Just in the off chance that I happen to put multiple paddles in there. Okay, so how do I do this to a specific instance? Okay, so what does it say here? This is old code. How would I do this? How do I use this to apply to a specific instance? No, that's not other. I don't want that. Let's do paddle P001. Hey, that worked! I think. You can't. You can directly address them. Perfect. Okay, so let's actually set this to 2. Rather, paddle P2. Alright, and then, let's make this, letters, W, and D. So go to 1. All right, let's try this. Okay, those are still doing that. Probably because I need to change the paddle objects. Let's disable this for the time being. See what happens. Also, I'm dumb. It should have been W and S. Either way, none of them are working. Neither of them are working. There. Okay. Alright, that actually should be positive, right? Yeah, it should be positive paddle speed. That's a step variable. Oh, it's not Y coordinate, not speed. Dirt. Okay, let's try that again. Let's try that again. Okay, well, it's not doing it. Still. Why? Is it something I fucked up, or is it just like... Where did I set paddle speed? Was it in the paddle itself? Yeah, it is. So that might be it. So maybe I need to get other.paddle speed? Or maybe not other. Maybe not other. There we go. Now if I do that, it's referencing the instances directly, and still nothing. Not moving at all. Okay, let's do this instead then, right? Let's just do apply to object paddle. Let's gonna have this apply to all object paddles, just so we know that this part works in general. Okay, so that is not, in fact, working. Was it if key pressed or if key down? It was if key down. This will be up. Sometime I'm not the smartest. This will be W. And this will be... Also, those should be relative, right? Yeah, those should be relative. Oh, God, I'm even stupider than I thought. I didn't even implement this fucking item into the thing, did I? This thing isn't even in the game. Anyway, that should work. That should work now, at least. So, let's, put controls. There, why not? Now that should work. No. Variable paddle. Paddle speed not set before, but it is. In fact, created right here. That's not working. See if WASD works. W. W doesn't work. Okay, what about down? Down does not work. Okay, so what is the actual error that it's giving me? Okay, variable object paddle, paddle speed, not set before reading it. Object paddle. Oh, of course, dummy, that's why. I changed paddle speed over to here, didn't I? So, enable that, and this should work now. There we go. W and D work, and as does A. And if I... That's a new one. Can I actually do that reliably? Let me see. Okay, it's gonna be tricky. Alright, well that's easy enough to fix. I'll just go to the paddle object, which I'm in. So, set a collision with the ball. Basically just use the exact same thing as this. So this should ideally actually prevent it from... Okay, this is gonna be tricky to... Okay, so it's gonna stop a little bit whenever it hits from now on. Which is fine, I think. Nope, still do it. Well, that's a new problem to solve later. I'll put that in the to-do list. Oops, I didn't want to close that. It's fine, doesn't matter. Right, so, going back to controls. Now we can change things around. So this can actually be, negative. This one can be negative. Okay, so up, this is going to be going into, instance paddle P2. It's paddle P2. And this one's going to go into inst paddle P1. Alright, so doing that, we now have separate controls. Up, down, up, down. Yeah, baby, you can win and lose on your own terms now. Alright. So, let me just really quickly go to... I want to go to the score item real quick. Let's just set max score back up to 10, because it's currently set at 5. Alrighty! Good shit, we have multiplayer. Of course, it's still not great, but we do have multiplayer now. So this is actually... This actually kind of works with the collision stuff I wanted to do, because currently the ball's only thing when hitting a wall is that when it hits the wall, it just reverses its vertical speed. That's all it does currently. So that's why it'll actually get stuck in there, because each of the wall instances that it's actually contacting will just reverse its vertical speed no matter what. It won't actually change which direction the ball is going. That's something I need to fix and do later on. That's why it's getting pushed in there, basically, because the math is so simple that it breaks in extreme circumstances. Which is why, eventually, when I do the collision stuff, which I'll try working on next week, when I eventually do get around to doing collision, hopefully it'll actually fix it. Let's just do a little play test here to make sure it works properly. That's round 2. Three. 4. 5. 6. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. Player 2 is last round's winner. Okay, now there's one last thing I want to implement in here. Alright, so last thing, let's go to the scorer here. On contact with object ball. Destroy instance if variable global L score is equal to 1, if it's equal to 2. And then here's the last thing I wanted to add. If global L score is equal to 0, then this would probably be something I need to set on an instance level. Wait, can I get closest? Or no, it's nearest, right? What I'd want to get is the nearest paddle instance, and then... Ideally, what I would do is I would get the closest paddle instance, grab that paddle instance's player number, and then set the score -1. But what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to go here. Let's do a set global variable score -1. Alright, so that's set now. So if nobody scores, then whoever got scored on last loses a point. And we can go in here. And go to game. Grab the score object. Actually, this is fine. This one I want to modify. So I want to go to edit object. Why isn't that being applied? Oh wait, no, that's right. This is correct. I'm being stupid. This will be P2. There you go. So now this disincentivizes people from letting the ball score on them. Alright, so P1 got a point. P2's losing score. P2's losing score. P2's the only one losing score right now. Why is that the case? Oh, wait. Wait, that's not right. There we go. That should do it. Alright, so now P2, P1 loses a score, P2 loses a score, 3, this is not right. 5, 6. This is not correct. Why is... Why are those being adjusted at the same time? Why are they both turning into P1? They should be... like, this one should be P2 on that instance. That should be P1 on that instance. So is it going to be P2 now? This might not work how I think it works. Yeah, okay, that's what okay, I see. I see. So that actually edits it. This is basically just a fast way to edit things. This is basically just a fast way to edit these things without having to go back to the workspace. That's all it is. Alright, so let's do it this way then. So inst, this is going to be score P1. Score P2. There you go. Alright, so those two are now implemented. So if... so object ball... okay, wait, actually, this would be, this would actually be... In that case, this would be a ball-based event, wouldn't it? So that's a global variable. Okay, so let's go to the ball. I'm a little annoyed that I have to do it on the ball instead of the scorer object. Okay, so if variable, well no, if so on contact with the score object, if other.id other.instance ID is equal to inst score p1 001. Is there a way to do if and? Okay, actually, you know what? It would probably be like this. Probably less like this. So if So if, what is it? Is it last score? Is that the one I want? If, I guess it would be last hit, actually. Yeah. So if last hit is equal to 0, and for instance of the score zone for P1, set global variable score P1 subtract 1, and if other.instance ID is equal to inst score P2 score P2 minus 1. That should work. Object score instance ID not set before reading it. Okay, so I need to get the object ID. Or rather, I need to get the instance ID. So let's go to the score. On creation. I don't need any of this stuff, because it turns out this is just going in the other object. Okay. What does the instance ID thing work? Instance. Let's do 2. Turns the ID of an instance in the room. Okay, so let's assign a variable. ID. Let's go instance ID. Is that the right one? Instance ID get. No. Let's go score ID. Call it that. Go to the ball. See, this works. No. I'm guessing it doesn't have the score ID set properly. Yeah, it's not saying the score ID properly. Okay, so how do I get the ID of itself? Instance object instance find. No, that finds the instance itself. Was it just ID? I think it was just ID, because I had that function before, right? Like, I'm pretty sure I literally had that ID before. Yep, there we go! Alright, it works. Did it. Very good. Excellent. Alright, and that basically is everything I wanted to do for this stream. Okay, let me go to itch. Really quick here, just head over to my thing. Dashboard. Oh, 2 people actually downloaded the game. That's surprising. 22nd, 24th. So that would have been Saturday and Monday. Cool. I can make a devlog thing here too. Cool. Okay. Very cool. All right. All right. Let's update the Itch.io page then. Yeah. Alright, so what's next on my to-do list here? Yeah, figure out how to stop the pal from pushing the ball into the wall, which is probably related more to collisions. So let's do settings. Control options, max, score per round. So that's going to be like changing room stuff, which is going to be interesting. Max score per round. On/off. So control options, max score per round, sound effects on and off. AI Player 2. AI Player 2 is pretty easy. Just have the ball try and move towards... Have the pal try and move towards the ball, I think. Where possible, but we'll see. Anyway, so settings seems like a good one to work on next time. Title. Let's go to other screens. Title. Winner. There we go. That looks good. Man, this is good music to chill to, though. For real. To other screens, so title, winner, resolution / window size. I have no idea how I go around fixing that up. That seems like a lot more complicated stuff than I'm ready for, honestly. Anything else? No, I feel like creating other rooms for that nonsense will probably take up most of my time anyway. So let's say if that's good. Let's say that's good for my next week to-do list. And then, of course, the collision stuff is going to be much later on. I'm very happy, though, that I can actually apply specific instance math in the drag and drop stuff, though. That's a nice find. That's a very good find. I wonder if it's possible to do an array in drag and drop. Let me take a look. So, gimmicks do 2. Using arrays in D&D. Using arrays in D&D. Array. Yeah, player values. Creating an array. Assign variable. Oh! Okay. Arrays, variable, create using the variable actions. The comment section of the D&D toolbox, like any other variable in an array, can be also local, instance, or global in scope. From information on global scope, so here, instance scoped arrays, assign variable, add 50 position array. This is some good stuff. Okay, so let's consider changing some things to array. And I'm just gonna post this link to the YoYo Games blog on here because this is some good stuff. Look at it yourself, but like this is good shit. You can have for loops that increment an array on the high score thing. Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah. Okay. I'll rank this below the other stuff in terms of like what I want to do. Same with the AI, because I don't really care about that at the moment. That's like it's not really a long-term thing, but I don't really care. Like, ideally, it's just going to be only players for the time being, and then I can just throw in a simple AI to play Pong later on. But the one I want to work on the most is the other screen stuff. You know, title screen, menu, winner. That's what I want out of it. Because right now it's very simplistic. You play the game. You play the game and you do the thing, and hey, somebody wins, and it has a little message that says last round's winner was this, and that's it. That's all you get out of it. Oh, that's another thing I should probably do. Okay, let me change that actually real quick. So go to the object ball. So let's change this around. So if last hit was equal to 0, how do I do an OR? How do I do an OR statement? Expressions. Summary. Does this work? So last hit is equal to 0. Okay, so that's only going to do if it... That's only going to check if it's equal to 0. Last equal to 0. Store 1, yep, okay. How do I make it so that you can't score on yourself? Last hit is equal to 0. I suppose the easiest way would just be to change the shape of the paddles. If this was equal to 0, then what? Last hit is equal to 0. That's really the only one I can do on here, right? Like, that's the only one I'd want to do here. Okay, so, I want to do this. I probably want to go back into the score object for this. If global else score is equal to 1, and then if self.id so actually I want to put this here. If self.id is not equal to inst score p1 it does that. Otherwise, relative -1. See if that works. It's going to be harder to see, actually. But I mostly just want to see if the +1 works. Let's get this. And... so no, it doesn't. Is it just 1? I think it might just be 1. -5? Well, is that right? -6, it's right. Okay, perfect. -10. -12. Good. Okay. So this should just be 1, right? It's gonna make sure this works. No. There we go. Now let's set that one after the if variable here. Now this goes under this one. Actually, whoop, even better. Single block. There we go, look at that. So yeah, if this is fine, if self ID is equal to so if the last score was 1 and the ID of the score itself was this first player's score, then is not the first person's score, then it gets a point. If it was, then it loses a point. Same here. If the global score is 2, self ID is player 2's, add 1 point if it wasn't, minus a point if it was. It's very hard to get this one to work properly, though, because I need to hit specifically like that. Okay, it seems to be working, though. Score P2. Now, why isn't the score incrementing up? Why isn't the score going up now? Player 2 hits. So I get negative score if I don't get it in. Four. Okay, that's correct. But why isn't the score actually going up if I score? That's the problem here. Why isn't it incrementing up? So this is -6. It should be going down to -5, but it's not. Okay, last score is 1. That's correct. That's triggering properly. If self.id for the score is not equal to that one, set global variable score P1 1 + 1. Try doing this. Will this work? I don't know if this will work, actually. Okay, so P2 is the last hit. P2 gets the score. Okay, oh, I know what was going on. I know what's going on here. It's not an if else. That's why. Because this minus was happening no matter what. Okay, how do I use the, GameMaker Studio 2, D&D, else? How do I actually use the else statement? Well, let's see if this works. Let's see if this does it. So this should work, ideally. That part, assuming this, I got it correct. Okay, so 2 scores. Good. 1 gets a negative score. 1 gets a negative score. 2 gets a negative score. Five. Perfect! We now have a working game of Pong, baby! Yeah! Look at this thing go! This is going surprisingly well. Beautiful. Those beautiful little blips and bleeps and bloops. They're the sign that things are working, you know? Maybe I should cap it at, like, -5, because otherwise people will just go into negative infinity. Yeah, let's do that. So let's put the score there, and, let's see, probably want to use WoW? No. So if, let's do ifs. So if, is less than -5, so that's going to be global dot, Scorpio1. Put a second one there. What I really should be doing is, instead of this, just do the check here. But this works too. Probably. Well, let me see here. Max score per round. Negative score. Just so you can actually, like, have yourself go into the maximum negatives. So if other ID, and then I'll just put another. Greater or equal than -5, it'll subtract 1, otherwise it will not. There we go. Okay, so back to the scorer. Then else, if score P1 is greater or equal to -5, then subtract score. And actually, you know what? Just for funsies, let's go here. Max score. Let's create a new thing here. Global variable. Call it min score. Value -5. There we go. Let's go back to the ball. Value min score. There we go. So now, ideally, the game should cap at -5. -5 and -6. It's not, in fact, capping at -6. Okay, so it should be... Oh, it was greater than or equal, so it's just greater than, in that case. That's why. There. Now that should cap it at -5. Capped at -5. Good. Perfect. Okay, so let's restart that game and make sure that the self-collision works. Yep. Damn it. Okay, I gotta try that again before I hit 5. Nope. There we go. It works. Perfect. Yeah! Oop, didn't mean to do that. Woo! That did it. We did it. Got a game working. Now it's a real game. You can actually play and win or lose. So be is next time I'll throw in like stuff like title screen, setting menu, settings, that sort of stuff. That'll be work probably. Yeah. Get that whole thing working. And maybe do a little bit of cleanup with how some of this stuff is laid out. See if I can get the array things working properly. Apart from that, is there anything else I need to do? No, I'll think about it. I might add a couple things in the meantime. Like, I did a couple adjustments, obviously, since the last stream. I changed the sound effects. I actually shrunk the paddles down because they were way too big before. I was having trouble scoring on myself with them, as they were. I might even have to shrink them down a little bit more at this rate. So yeah, we'll leave it there for now. I'll be, actually, you know what? Let me do something here real quick. Let's go to Twitch. Let's go to my little page here. About links, edit this. Let's, social link. It's not actually where I wanted to go. I wanted to go to the... I want to edit panels, that was it. Alright, so let's make a new one here. Text or image. Call it, do I still have the BlockBall image? I'm pretty sure I do. I made the thing in like a couple hours. Took long because I was trying to figure out how to get Blender to work properly. Where did I put it? Let me see here. I adjusted it in Photoshop. Maybe I saved the location in Photoshop. No, that's not it. Do I have any PSD documents here? No. What the hell is this file? Oh yeah, that image. Maybe it's under this folder? Where the hell did I put this image? I really do not remember where I put the image for this thing. Can I just take it off the itch.io page? Sure can. Okay, so let's save that real quick. Okay, the image will link to the itch page. There we go. So I've now added on my About page on the Twitch channel a link to BlockBall. You can go play it yourself right now on itch.io. It's free. Not this version, the older version. I'll upload this version shortly. Yeah, did it. Doing things and stuff. Woo! I really should use itch.io more. I got a press account on here. I just don't use it often enough. I use it a couple times for press reasons, and I did do. I'm not like stealing games from itch.io as a press. I just don't use it often. Is the only thing. All right. Anyway, yeah. So that's where I'm gonna leave that. We now have a functional game of Pong, BlockBall. It's BlockBall, not Pong. You can now win, and more importantly, you can lose. That's the most important part. You can win and you can lose this game. I wonder if there's a meta where someone just like... You don't play to get points, you play so that other people don't get points. Because you could, theoretically, it's hard to do, but you could get yourself set in such a way that you don't actually make points yourself, you just constantly reduce other people's points. Or rather, no, you don't make points yourself, you reduce your own, but you prevent other people from getting points. Which is a meta! Get a meta going for that! Yeah! Do it! Alright, anyway, that's enough of that for now. Alright, that's BlockBall. I'll be back next week again with more of this. I got things to do now which are going to be much trickier. So we'll see how that goes. Thanks as always for joining me. Hope you enjoyed this little excursion. I'll be putting the download link for this version of the game up shortly. You ever think about that? You put a link up to download? Wild. Anyway, yeah, I'll be back with this next week. Tomorrow's Sunday, so that's Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous coming back. It's been a week, unfortunately. I had a lot of stuff happening this last week, which just happened to be on the days I wanted to play Pathfinder. So, see what I can do this time around to really push forward with that. I feel like it's not a bad thing either. It gets people the opportunity to catch back up. Anyway, I'll be back, like I said, tomorrow, Pathfinder. Next week, more of this. We'll be doing menuing and other things people take for granted. Like settings, menus. You don't realize how important those things are until they're not there. And this game does not have it, and it sucks. Alright. Blah, blah, blah. Anyone live? I could raid real quick. Oop, I just heard myself talk. Tristabytes is live. Go say hi to Tristabytes. What's she doing? Baby got back. Challenges on Ant subs get stickers. Alright. Some kind of viewer challenge thingy it looks like. So go say hi to them. As always, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for checking out the game with me. Enjoy the rest of your days, evenings, nights, what have you. Go, again, the music is courtesy of StreamBeats. This is the lo-fi playlist that you've been listening to. Thanks for stopping by, and see you next time.